Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome to another challenge. Today we got ourselves another brand new Splatoon 3 challenge. One I was not expecting to be in the pool, but here we are. So listen up, it's going down. Reppin' Splatlands, we are deep cut. Here for what I believe this time around, for sure this time, should be our final new challenge to cover here in Splatoon 3. This challenge is a monthly challenge. Now, we've done these before, so it's nothing really that special, but this time around, the monthly challenge in question is something that they haven't done ever, even though it's been in the rules since day one, and that is a Turf War monthly challenge. Since the very beginning of this monthly challenge being introduced in Splatoon 3, they have only ever done the ranked game modes between Splat Zones, Tower Control, Rainmaker, and Clam Blitz. Never Turf War. And if you go into the said challenge, it does have a rule set for Turf War specifically. Now, how high can you get your challenge power this month? Only primary gear abilities will be enabled in Turf War battles. Secondary gear abilities will have no effect. And there's no limits on gear abilities in Anarchy battle modes. So, this is the first time that there has been a monthly challenge for Turf War specifically, meaning this first rule actually has a meaning this time. So, we can only use our primary abilities here. Other than that, it is just standard old Turf War. Let's go ahead and get this started. We're playing for 5 games, seeing what our score is. And then I'll play a little more afterwards just to see what I can get in the said 2-hour rotation. But this should be our final actual new challenge to cover here in Splatoon 3, because there are no more challenges coming to the game at this point. Nintendo has announced that this game no longer is going to be getting content updates, so at this stage, we are done with a 2-year cycle of updates for Splatoon 3, meaning that the challenges are all said and done. The final brand new challenge that was added to the game was the Sheldon's Gear Ability Shuffle challenge that we did in the last challenge video. So, this here is just going to be repeat challenges going forward in the game, and this is the only new-ish challenge with some asterisks put into it that we have here in Splatoon 3, because we've seen monthly challenges before, we just never seen one for Turf War specifically. This is why we are covering this, because we have covered all the other monthly challenges, and at this point we've covered every challenge here in Splatoon 3 outside of just this one variant of the monthly challenge. After this, we would have seen them all. So, we're going to do our best here, see how well we can play Turf War here in this 2-hour stretch, and just try to do our best. Because I've also noticed, going into this season specifically, there has not been a new season challenge at all. This is how they would normally show the brand new map for your said season, along with just having players just being able to play on a proper rotation, but that's not the case here. There have not been any new maps, so this is now, I guess, why they're doing the monthly challenge in Turf War, so you can have a challenge specifically related to Turf War to play. So, I'm fine with that, because honestly, this has been kind of a weird thing in the rules from day one. Well, I mentioned Turf War if you're never going to have it as a monthly challenge, so here we are. But we know the rules of Turf War. This is the most famous mode of Splatoon. You have to just get as much turf covered in 3 minutes as possible. Whatever team has the most coverage wins the game. So we got to make best here, trying to get as much covered here without dying too much. And Brightwater Springs is a pretty small map, so it's very easy to get pushed back here into our base area, especially if too many of us get knocked out all at once. So we got to play things really carefully here. And so far, it's not looking great. We were doing good in the beginning, but the second half is when we're really having some problems. I don't really have that much ink coverage here, and as a Nautilus, that's not really great. But this is more my warm-up game, as I haven't played Splatoon yet today. So the first game is going to be a little rough, because I need to warm myself up to Splatoon. I can't just jump into a game and expect to be ready to go right away. I gotta play a couple rounds before I'm really ready to go. Okay. It was a little too close for comfort, but we're good. I guess some Booyah Bomb. We can just stay here for a second. See my opponent's coming out. I got 2 shots on the blaster, so I can probably finish him off if I can get a little bit closer. Yeah, see, there you go. Case in point, we're good. And I was gonna get close enough, and I was gonna use my splashdown. Unfortunately, my teammate activated the ink vac as soon as I died. So, not the best timing there. If I get one splashdown out this game, that would be a miracle this rate, because I keep on losing it. I know this guy's still here. Yep, I knew it. I had a feeling. Nobody was paying attention to where that roller went because they thought he retreated. So he took advantage of the situation. Don't know about this one, Chief. This game is going to be really, really down to the wire. But they're throwing out all the specials here in the end, so I do believe the opponents took this game. I didn't get one splashdown out. Not one. That's embarrassing. Especially with my weapon of choice here. I played Nautilus all the time, especially this version, Nautilus 79. So that's a little rough. But again, kind of a warm-up game. I didn't expect to do that great because I'm not ready to play this game yet. Haven't had a chance to warm up, and that really shows. But that's game number 1. This time around, I am going to be playing 5 different weapons like I normally do for these challenges, but instead of playing random things, for, like say from a randomizer or just having specific things picked out for the challenge in question, I'm going to be playing weapons I play on the regular basis here in Splatoon. Some are meant for turf war, some are not. So let's go ahead and jump into the next weapon, the splatter shot. Specifically here, I'm playing with the 10-tech splatter shot. I played this a lot here in this game, so I'm going to go ahead and use this weapon. Since we only have the primary abilities on, we have to keep that in mind, so swap the gear. That's going to take advantage of primary abilities. So in this case, I'm going to be using this shirt for a quick super jump, as I don't have any of that. So this is going to help quite a lot. But yeah, look at that first game tally. That's pretty terrible. Kind of embarrassing for a turf war game. Well, let's go ahead and make up for it in game number 2, shall we? So jumping into game 2 here with the other map, Scorch Gorge. Let's just get this going. Let's see what kind of team I have this time. We got 2 dualies and a Dreadringer. Oh, and I got an E-leader. This is a map that's really good for sniping, so that's going to be kind of scary to deal with. But I do have Ink Strike, so I can push them away. They also have it too, because they have the Opto Shot Replica, which is this weapon. So we'll see how things go. For now, let's just focus on trying to get as much paint down immediately so I can use my special, just to kind of push them back. And all you use is also to gauge where they are too, because I can just ink up areas, get an idea where they're at, and then just push them back to my opponents, or my teammates, excuse me, and get in their base area. So I see that we got the charge up here. So let's get them off their perch. They're still there in the corner. Oh, I missed one of my shots. Oh, good, never mind. The other one hit. So I was worried I wasn't going to be able to kill the sniper, but I got it. Okay, so we got 2 opponents that were over here, and they're both down. That's good. Seems like we're doing pretty good so far, because the other team is in danger. Oh, that's going to hit their beacon. No, I missed. The beacon's higher up, so I can't hit it with a bomb. They're going to be using beacons to their advantage here to get back into the game faster, which is smart. Okay, that guy's down, so I don't need to worry about rushing it. I'm going to throw the strikes over in this direction to push them back. Got the sniper again. Now we're in their base area, so let's go. Now it's time for the real push to begin. I don't know how that bomb didn't do damage. That's actually surprising. They're gonna probably jump down. Yeah, so my teammates can just take care of their auto shot. At this point, we're just gonna chill in their base. They won't mind. Nice, got them with the bomb. And that also took care of their beacon. So this E-leader is gonna have my number, so I'm just gonna hide. Ah, yeah, I had a feeling they were thinking he's probably still in that 1 pixel of ink. So let me just shoot that pixel of ink. It's a good thing, because the last game, no one did that for the roller, except for me. So, sometimes people can easily forget that. That shot almost worked, too, which is a funny thing. Oh, boy, that's cracking. Oh, I'm surprised that didn't hit me. Bad aim for the Kraken, I guess. Alright, so there you go. Let's get rid of the E-leader. And at this point, we're going to just push back into their base again. So I'm walking back over. Good. At this point, we'll just chill here. Our home now. They won't mind, right? I can push you this way. Yeah, there you go. That's why I threw the bomb where I did. Push the guy into my area. Let's go. We're doing good here. Even though things are getting a pushback right now mid, we're still taking a good chunk of their base. And we took mid back. So that should be game for us. That was getting kind of close in the middle, but I don't think it really mattered. Because there we go. A good almost 20% lead by the end. Let's go. M1 Turf Inc. with the turf weapon. Gee, I'm not surprised. I love how both the dualies had to throw their dualies up to do the fist pump. And both of them caught them. The fist bump specifically for a dually player is one of the most funny animations to see. If your emo is still twirling the dually weapon. Because you just have the cool throw up, fist bump your opponent, and then grab your dually again. It's just a cool animation. I love it. That's game number 2. So let's move into game number 3 with another weapon I've been playing a lot in this game. The 96 Gal Deco. This weapon, really good. I'm going to keep it set up in the way I have it now. This is probably the most beneficial setup I can use for 96 Deco. I would love to have those sub perks, but I can work without them. So I'm fine what I got here. Because I'm specializing mainly on my movement speed and the length of Kraken. Because having the special power-up will give me about a second longer in my Kraken form, which is going to be really important. Because Kraken doesn't last too long in Splatoon 3. So I want to capitalize on it as long as possible to take the most advantage of my special anytime I have it. Well, let's go ahead and jump back into the game here in the brine water for game number 3. The only inkling on my side, so I feel like I missed the memo. Guess I should have been knockling, huh? Right now, it looks like they're all just kind of coming out from the same area here, just right into the main path. So that's good for us, because we can just immediately intercept. Looks like we got a stamp that just tried. That's a stamp moment. I do see there's a splashdown over here, but I know I'm being chased, so I'm just going to be careful here. I'm going into their base with Kraken. I can't tell where you're going. There you go. At this point, I'm not going to chase him with the Kraken, because I will die afterwards, so I'm just going to use my gun. That's why you got to really take advantage of your Kraken timing, but keep in mind of how much longer you have with it, too. Because in this sense, I would have died if I chased that guy. I know better. Alright, got you. That's their sploosh. I'll push them into their base, it seems like, so that's good. We're having the inverse of what happened in game 1 here in Brine Water. Now we're just pushing them into the base. Okay, well, I don't know why the ink vac immediately used it. Just to swim with the vacuum in hand. That was a bad move. So, unfortunate for that player. And at this point, looks like we're going to get pushed back ourselves. So let's just do our best to push. I will say, Brine Water is a very back and forth map because of how small it is. It's very easy to get a lead change in this map no matter what the mode you're playing, because of just how small it is. It's honestly one of my least favorite maps in Splatoon 3 because it's just too small. It feels a little claustrophobic in a lot of areas. And honestly, now that this game's lifespan is done with updates, I could say that about a lot of the new maps that came with this game within the first year, because a lot of these maps are very claustrophobic. They're very, very tiny. I don't know why they're so tiny in this game, but compared to Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, a lot of these maps do feel like they take you maybe 20 seconds tops to go from one end to another, which is not a good thing. And they've gotten a little bit better over time with like little fixes here and there and updates. And new maps, especially being introduced after the first year, were a lot better. They were bigger, had more paths, and just overall much better in design. I mean, one of my favorite maps in this game is the ramen map that was introduced in Chill Season of 2023. That map is fantastic. There's just so much to that map. And it's honestly one of the best designed stages in Splatoon as a whole. It's so good. But that did not come until over a year into the game, which was, unfortunately, by the time it came out, a lot of people were moving on from Splatoon. So that's a thing that some people may not have even experienced in Splatoon 3, which is kind of a shame of how this update cycle went, because the update cycle being broken up in the way it was for Splatoon 3, a lot of players didn't come back every 3 months to play more of this game, so I do feel like compared to Splatoon 1 and 2, Splatoon 3 had a bigger drop-off in players, which is very unfortunate given all the fixes this game brought to the table compared to Splatoon 1 and 2. I think this is just the best one in the series right now for multiplayer sake. It is fantastic and has so many quality of life changes to it, especially now with some of these later updates. But a lot of people haven't played since a lot of these updates are added because there's no incentive to come back, which is unfortunate. But hopefully that can be different with Splatoon 4 in the future, because we know it's going to happen. It's just bound to happen at this point. But now we won that game, so let's move on to game number 4 with our next weapon. This is the Custom Range Blaster. Now, I played a lot of Blaster in this game, and honestly, the one I leaned to the most was Range Blaster, but out of all of them, Custom Range Blaster is the one I like out of the two more. This was one of the last weapons introduced in Splatoon 3, which brings me back to that point from earlier. The update cycle in this game, every 3 months adding new content, which even included the weapon kits, I do think was one of the things that really held this game back. Because a lot of these weapons, I do feel like people waited a little too long for. And like this one, for example, this took 2 years. It was a little insane. It's just its Splatoon 1 kit, Splat Bomb and Kraken. Why did it take 2 years to make? This could have came out way sooner. This could have came out during the fresh season of 2023 when they were pushing the Splatoon 1 stuff in this game so much with the Kingopolis DLC. So why wasn't this here? They did almost all the other weapons at that time that were referencing Splatoon 1. And that's another problem with the kits. A lot of them were just references to the Splatoon 1 variants, which, don't get me wrong, are good kits. These are some of the strongest weapons in this game because they have good synergy, but why did it take so long to get a lot of these during the update cycle is beyond me if they're just reference kits. That is the biggest problem. The release schedule, I feel like they could have just made these alternate kits. So, oh, really? Okay. I guess we'll just chill here. You want to walk with me? Yeah, let's go. Really unfortunate, but at least it happened immediately in the beginning. I feel like these alternate weapon kits, not brand new ones, like that minty cavitator that was added in the last season, Sizzle Season 24, that I feel like make that a weapon kit, brand new weapon, every 3 months. But I feel like these specific kind of weapon kits, the alternate kits, for already existing weapons, give us these every month or so. Give us a little more incentive to come back earlier than 3 months, because a lot of players move on. 3 months is a long time to wait between content, and I do think, looking back at this game's update cycle, this is why I saw a lot of people move on sooner rather than later. I had a lot of friends that I played Splatoon with throughout the years of all 3 of the games existing, and I will say, of all 3 games, Splatoon 3 was the game I saw the least amount of my friends stick with in comparison to 1 and 2. I've known people who've stuck with Splatoon 1 and 2 for a year plus, 2 years, maybe even longer, but Splatoon 3, about a year is the average I saw my friends stick with this one. And it's because of the update cycle. It just was starting to burn people out, and I completely understand why, because there wasn't that much being done after a while. It was just a lot of the same. So I hope that Splatoon 4 does change that a bit and tries to make things a little bit better on spacing out how things are updated, because I do like the idea of this game being kind of like other live service games. It has its own kind of battle pass and think about it with the catalog. Not to mention that it's not really invasive like other free-to-play kind of style battle pass games or any other live services you can think of. It's honestly a good method of handling it because it's all free. It's just stuff you want to get, which will incentivize you to come back. So I like the idea of the catalog, and I think that should be brought back. The 3-month season, I think, works as well. I just think that the update cycle needs to have some adjustments for a future game to keep players coming back. Because 3 months for new content, and that's the only time you get new content, I think that is a big point of contention that can really make your game stale after a while. And it was really showing here based on how many people I knew who stuck around this game compared to 1 and 2. It just didn't hold people as long as the other games. And I heard some people say this is just Splatoon 2 again, even after a while, which unfortunately a lot of these games have that problem where it does feel like the last game. So it's just like Splatoon X.5. So in this case, this is Splatoon 2.5. Splatoon 2 was considered Splatoon 1.5 when it came out. So this is a problem that's been plaguing the series for years. So it's no exception with this game. Okay, buddy, I hear you. I'm coming. I died. You'd have to say this way 5 times. I knew to come after the first this way. I think we're good at this point, so I'm gonna jump up to my teammate. Okay, never mind. I guess that was a bad move. Didn't realize I was gonna get camped immediately. All right, well, at this point, we should be okay. Just gotta be careful in the last 30 seconds. This is when turf war really matters. All right, if I can just take this dually out, good. They got their chumps out, but chumps don't really matter. They don't really put down that much ink in comparison to a normal shot. Okay, there's the dually. I couldn't see because of the strikes, but we still won that, so that's fine. At this rate, the only game we've lost so far is with my main weapon, which is really embarrassing based on how it's the weapon I play the most, and these weapons I play here and there. It really just depends on the mode, but we're winning with them. I'm still holding I had that warm-up game. That warm-up game, it woke me up, and now the real skill comes out. That first game, I was sleep playing, essentially. It wasn't me. It was my dream self. But we have one more game left, and then we're done with this monthly challenge. And with the challenges as a whole, which does kind of feel a little bittersweet in some way, because I've been covering these challenges since they were introduced for over a year. And it does kind of feel like we're right at the end of a journey. So let's go ahead and finish this journey up by swapping to our last weapon here, which is going to be the roller. So let's get this going. I use specifically the Splat Roller. Of all the roller types, I stuck with Crack-On Splat Roller in Splatoon 1. It had Squid Beacon and Kraken, and that's the same here. But I found myself liking the normal Splat Roller more in Splatoon 3 because I like the synergy that this has between the Curling Bomb and the Big Bubbler. Once Big Bubbler is up, it's really hard to get inside of it if you're playing the Splat Roller because you can use that weapon to push your opponents back. So I found this synergy to be really good, hence why I like playing with this specific roller more than any of the others. Herb Roller Deco is also really good too. I really do like that one, but I think of the rollers in the game, I kind of play this one the most. Just because I like being a sneaky roller, and this really plays my playstyle a lot. So I'm gonna ink up as much as I can in the beginning here so I can sneak up on my opponents. I can't do that if there's nowhere to go. I gotta move because of the Zinc Storm. It's in a really bad spot. I knew it was gonna draw me out for the Hydra. That Hydra's gonna be the biggest problem, so thank you, teammate. Just their one weapon left on the field. I think it was their blob from what I saw. So we pretty much got mid at this point, all controlled because of that one little exchange in the very beginning. That's nice. You like having an early lead like this. It's really good. Okay, I'm gonna be careful because again, Hydra. I can't do anything with the Hydra. Oh my gosh, how's this? Okay, it kind of worked. And then the other opponent jumped off the ledge. Okay, Nova. You do you. I don't know why you would do that, but hey, I'm not gonna question your strategy. There we go. Got one. Now, unfortunately, I'm marked, so I can't be a sneaky roller. I gotta wait for this point sensor to wear off. Thankfully, it doesn't take terribly long. Oh no, the Hydra. Yeah, I knew it the second I was moving out. I knew he was gonna see that trail and shoot. I can't do anything with the Hydra. I'm just honestly kind of a problem for this game because we don't have range. Our 52 gal is the longest range, and it's not the one with Killer Whale. It's the one with the splatter color screen, which I don't like screen. I think it's the worst design special in the whole franchise, and it's still not that much better after, you know, the seizure fix essentially for people because of the brightness thing. I wouldn't call it seizure. I would still just say it's, I don't know how to put this. It's just a really terrible special that was giving people headaches. And it's still not great because its audio is kind of loud. So it still can be a sensory overload for people, which is not ideal. I don't know, man. I mean, I get what they were trying to do with the special. I just don't think it worked, personally. And honestly, even without taking in the health issues that the special has, black over screen half the time is actually a hindrance for you and your team, because if you put it out there, it can easily block your vision, which actually doesn't make things any easier for you. It makes it harder for you as a player. So, not a fan of that said weapon. It's my least favorite one, or least favorite special, I should say, in all of this game. But I guess with that rant out of the way, I really did just lose my first game. Wow, it really is, just because I needed to wake up. Because everything else, just slaughter. Easy games. Cannot believe. But that is it for the monthly challenge. And with that, that's 1 loss, 4 wins. It's turf war though, so the score won't be terribly high. It may be around 1,600, 1,700 tops, I would think. Probably around that range. And sure enough, right in the middle, 1643. I know this turf war challenge is a little bit more on the low side, so that adds up to what I would expect. So, with that, I only need to get my token. And at this point, I'm good to get my roll in the shout machine. So you know what? We only do 5 games normally, but I'm going to play until I get my win, because I only need 1 more win. So hopefully that's the next game. So let's just jump in, and I'm going to be playing until I get my win, which at that point, I want to do my rolls at the shout machine so I can get my last challenge token for this said roll. I think it's fitting to end this on a roll. So let's do it. After a millennium, we finally found another game. It's a miracle. What happened with the last game? I'll talk about the last game. Let's go ahead and get this started. This should hopefully be our final game, but we got 1 gold arrow spray on our side and 2 on the other side. This is gonna be a lot of booyahs, that's for sure. I have no idea how this one's gonna go, but it's on brine water. This map's the size of a thimble. Alright, well, I broke its armor, so thank you, teammate, for taking care of the rest. This is how I expect things to go. Booyah bombs every 5 seconds. This is a weapon I'm not a big fan of in Splatoon 3. I didn't see Booyah Bomb spam as much in Splatoon 2 with an arrow spray, which is saying a lot. They also spammed it there once they got a hit with Booyah Bomb. But in this game, because of just how soon the gold arrow spray was added compared to the 3rd version's arrow spray in Splatoon 3 that had Booyah Bomb, yeah, you just see this thing all the time in 3's lifespan. That's probably why I'm more sick of it here. I'm just gonna use this now, because that's a good call. The heavy edit wouldn't have really... Oh, God! I wasn't expecting the arrow spray jump scare. The heavy edit wouldn't have been able to get away, that's what I thought. Then I wasn't able to get away with a random arrow spray falling on my forehead. That's almost as deadly as apparently a splashdown. Okay, there's the arrow spray. Careful, this thing's probably close to having its meter filled, so get him out of here. Here's something down below, so there's gotta be someone nearby. Yep, I can see him. There they are. It's the arrow spray, number 2. Get him out of here. Take him out as fast as we can, because I don't want any booyahs. Arrow spray. Got it. No, you don't. Even if that doesn't take him out, I wanted to push him away, because right now I'm alone, so I need to at least do whatever I can to survive. I've seen this. Teammate went down here. There's that opponent. I have 1 more shot, I think. Maybe 2 at most. Coming around the edge. They're going to take out that beacon, so we're going to lose a little bit of our visual. At this point, if we can push in, then we can take this back in the last 30-second mark. Keep on pushing, keep on pushing. They do have Tacticooler available right now, so they have buffs. We gotta be very careful. Keep it going. Right now, it's pretty back and forth. But the heavy head got me. They had more of a charge ready to go than I was expecting. That sploosh, I don't know if we can take him out in time. That's gonna be really scary, but he did it. Okay. Well, let's be careful here with this brush. Thank you. Come on, number 2. Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going. This could be it if we can push a little bit further. And this is great. I noticed we didn't get that many Booyah Bombs compared to the other side, because they're getting Booyah Bombs every 5 seconds. We have them every minute, maybe? I'm curious to see what the Booyah was by the end for our Aerospray. Something tells me he has like 1 or 2. I don't know about that one. But we got the game win, and that's all I really care about. So let's go. We got it in the bag. So that is all 5 games that we need for our challenge token. So now we get an extra roll at the shell machine, which is going to be really worth it to cap out our run through here with the challenges in Splatoon 3. So give me that token. Also, give me a bump in points. 1685 is where we're going to be ending it. Pretty good. The shell token has been achieved. Now let's go roll. First, a little bit of intensify action for my shirt. Need more of those, so I'm good with that. So, looking, yeah, our Aerospray only had 2 Booyah Bombs. I had a feeling they got next to none. I don't think they were really around a lot of the times when they had their special ready, which was unfortunate timing. And there's only so much you can do in that front. So I'm going to do a cash play first. This is my roll for the day, which gives me a drink ticket of Special Saver. And now, the roll we're waiting for. This is the one I work towards to get that extra token at the end. Let's do that roll and see what we get. Sleepy Kelp. That's pretty accurate because that first game I was half asleep. So you know what? You can't have a more fitting title, than that. See, I'm still half asleep, apparently. But that is it. Our time spent with this challenge mode has now come to an end, because this is the last new variant of a challenge for us to look at here in Splatoon 3. I will say, of all the different challenges in this game, monthly challenge has kind of just been the one that I'm always like hit or miss on. I'll play this from time to time. I haven't played every single monthly challenge because honestly, not much of a point. Half the time, better off just playing the normal ranked games and just kind of climbing the leaderboards here to get your rank up. In the case of Turf War, it's just Turf War. It's just now there's a leaderboard for it. So, cool, I guess. It's cool now they're finally doing a Turf War version of the monthly challenge after so long of this being a thing in the rule set. But they've never done it once for a year. I don't know why it took a year for a monthly challenge for Turf War, but here we are. I will say, though, to reflect back on all of the challenges here in Splatoon 3, I would say half of them were interesting, but not really that innovative, because half of the challenges, I would say, in this game were just things of play with specific weapon types, like oops, all shooters, or now we can only play with one special, so you only have the crabs to play with today, or hey, it's just nothing but bombs. So a lot of the challenges were just specializing between like one weapon class or one like sub or special class specifically, which I will say is not the most interesting. Some of them were more tuned, like the crab one specifically, having more movement speed on crab, that was cool. And just certain challenges having the charge up, like too many Trizukas or Inkjets for everyone, being able to just use those specials more and more throughout the game were interesting as an idea, but I would say my favorite challenges were the more unique ones, like, say, Swim to Win It, where you're swimming fast, Extreme Jump Battle, jumping really high, Foggy Notion, where there's fog on the maps for play. Then you have, like, the randomizer challenges I really liked. Like, all 3 of them are really solid in this game. Those are the kind of challenges that I really do enjoy the most. And I kind of wish there were more of those in this game, but if challenges do make a return in an eventual Splatoon 4, I would love to see more challenge types introduced in that game, new ideas being brought to the table, and maybe even old ideas coming back and just tweaked. Like, I do say that Towering Tower Control challenge is another good example. That was an interesting challenge, but I do feel like just making the tower bigger wasn't enough for that challenge to be unique. So you can take that kind of challenge and tool it in a way to make it an even cooler idea, but also better gameplay-wise too. So there's plenty of things that I think that this mode can capitalize on for a future game. So I would like to see it come back. Big one for me though is just please fix these times, man. This is terrible. We only have 6 rotations of each challenge, and right now you've only seen 2 here because there's only 2 left. And then this one shows, hey, next challenge coming up is Clan Blitz, Art Battle for the Ages. They haven't done this in a year. There's only 6 slots. And after this may not come back for another year. So the rotation timings for these challenges, I think, is still the biggest hindrance. And this has got to be fixed for Splatoon 4. Do what you did with Salmon Run, make these challenges available more frequently, maybe even all the time for a rotation, but not every other 2-hour rotation, because this is ridiculous, especially given how these challenges can just go away after a year and then come back maybe a year later. The fact that these are not available all that frequently, and they're not even a thing that you can do in private battles right now, which is another big thing a lot of people were asking for. Make the challenges a mode in private battles so you can play with your friends. I would love to see that as well. I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing that here in this game because content updates are done for Splatoon 3. So at this point, the devs are just going to be coming back to this game every few months to patch it for balancing tweaks, not necessarily for adding new modes, say the challenges into private battle. I would love to be wrong on that one, so please do it. That'd be great. That's one of the biggest asks. That and add tricolor to this mode too, because we can't play it anymore. Outside of those occasional Splatfests that are returning. That's the only way we're playing tricolor as well, so there's a lot of stuff I feel like this game still needs to be done. But I do hope that an eventual Splatoon 4 does bring back these challenge modes, and we can just see these said challenges retweaked in some ways and some newer ideas as well brought to the table in Splatoon 4. But that's going to do it here for our time spent with these said challenges in Splatoon 3. I know that was a lot to ramble about here in the end, but since this is our final brand new challenge type we'll probably be covering here in Splatoon 3, for real this time. I know I said that at the end of that Sheldon Gear Ability Shuffle challenge, but that was a brand new challenge, and I thought that would be it. I never expected a monthly challenge Turf War. I haven't done that ever, so this one kind of threw me for a surprise. But that is going to do it for the said video and for our coverage here of the Splatoon 3 challenges. So thank you guys for watching this series, and I hope you enjoyed it. And since now we're done with these challenges, I have an announcement of saying, if you want to watch all of these challenges back in a more concise format, I have made a standalone playlist for these Splatoon 3 challenges, and that playlist is going live the day that this video is coming out. So these challenges will be in the main challenges playlist along with the other game challenges, but also we have a standalone. You can tell I'm still that sleepy kelp guy. I have a standalone playlist for these challenge videos if you want to go back and watch these Splatoon 3 challenges at any time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this series. I enjoy my time with these Splatoon 3 challenges. I'm still looking forward to playing these ones coming back in repeat rotations, and hopefully you guys at home get to play some of these challenges anytime that they're available. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.